Oh, I need to solder this wire here. Okay, let me take some solder. Uh, uh, uh. Come on, why are you not working? Okay, let me take more solder. Now this should work. No, it's still not working. There should be something wrong with this. It's all the work of the devil. Yes, I know, it's all the work of the devil. Please don't be that guy from the intro. That way of soldering is totally wrong, and the worst part is that I have seen many people do it, and including one of my own teacher. So why do we solder? That sounds like a lame question, but it is important to see it from this perspective. We have two metallic conductors to be joined. We melt the solder, convert it into liquid, and use the molten metal to bridge the connection. Here the molten metal needs to naturally flow onto the conductors which need to be joined. If you try to melt the solder, which will be hot, and then later try to transfer it onto the conductor which is cold, it is not going to work. There is a huge temperature difference and the solder only sticks on superficially if you try to transfer it and does not actually make a strong joint. This is also called as a cold joint. Use the soldering iron to heat the conductor and let the solder melt onto it. If you have two wires to solder, after removing the insulation, twist the ends so that the strands don't stick out and coat a layer of solder on each of them. This is called pre-tinning. Now get the two ends close to each other and heat them again. They will merge into a strong joint. If you are too lazy to do this, you can also just twist the two ends together and then solder it at last. This is the dirty way of doing it. The fumes which you see while soldering are formed when the flux inside the solder melts. Wait. Now what is flux? The core of the solder filament is made up of flux. Here you can see the white dot at the center. This is a material which helps the molten solder flow onto the conductor. Conductors never have a clean surface and are usually partially oxidized. Inhaling the fumes is not a good idea. It can cause many problems from throat irritation to bad headaches. I put together my own little device which pulls away the fumes and I am no more directly exposed to them. I used an old PC fan, some flexible tube and some leftover wooden pieces to make this fume extractor which can also be used as a fan. I started off by connecting the flexible tube to the fan using hot glue and that quite didn't work. Later I used the two-component epoxy to join them. Next I used the other end of the tube. I joined the other end of the tube to the wooden disc with hot glue and added another bigger disc to the bottom to make the base heavier and later painted it black. This works like a charm. I am no more directly exposed to solder fumes. Also, it is generally a good idea to solder in a well-ventilated space. A dirty and messy soldering tip produces an equally dirty joint. Let's talk about cleaning the solder tip. The tip is usually cleaned by stabbing it into a steel or a metal wool. So let's make a DIY version of it. This is really simple. I used a steel wool used in the kitchen to wash utensils. I cut a small piece from the cardboard tube and later stuck it onto the soldering iron stand and stuffed it with the steel wool. Get those three things right and your soldering experience will be much better. Also try to have one of these helping hands which are very helpful and also they reduce the chances of you burning yourself while coming up with ways to solder without them. Trust me, I'm talking with experience. And try to use a thinner solder filament. It gives you more control over the volume of solder you melt onto the conductor. Well, that's it guys. Like the video if you found it helpful and do share the video with the people who are new to soldering. Subscribe for more videos from Curio.